This is the single most important thing you need to be doing with regards to your training. For those that are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Paul Green. I'm a former British paratrooper, Special Forces Support Group operator, and over my time in the past 10 years, I've been a physical training instructor in which I've trained and coached thousands of elite soldiers across the Army, Parachute Regiment, Royal Marines, RAF, and future officer leaders at the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst. Got a lot of experience with this stuff, but now I've left the Army and I've built my own online coaching system for grapplers that have injuries and that want to build physical body armour and physical resilience. It doesn't matter, and this is the thing, this is the funny thing with this, right? It doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter how injured you are, this principle needs to be the number one priority. But the moment this principle doesn't become the priority, and I'm going to just say it straight away to stop leaving you hanging because you click off my video and I won't get any subscribers. The principle is training intensity, right? So now we've cleared that up. As we start to get older, we start to deprioritize training intensity and we start to choose the other side of the coin, which is comfort, right? And training intensity gets results. Undoubtedly can guarantee results. It's as simple as that, right? However, when you choose comfort and you choose a training session that gets the blood pumping, elevates the heart rate, you're now basically putting yourself into a category of people that exercise, they work out. Over here is training. It's specific and precise on you achieving an outcome. Results focused. This one is feelings focused. It's going in the gym, blowing off some steam, la-di-da-di-da. This channel is all about results focused. My priority is results. It's about getting you results. I can do that on YouTube sometimes, and I can do that on my program, right? So, intensity. Fundamentally, you have to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and critique your training intensity. And not a lot of men are willing to do that. I'll say that straight up. Not a lot of men are willing to do that, right? And the best way you can do this is video your working sets. Video, and I'm not talking about your favorite exercise that you actually care about more than anything else, because you should care about every single exercise in the gym. It doesn't matter about just your bench press, or it doesn't matter about just your weighted pull-ups or your deadlifts. It should matter about every single exercise. It's called standards, your training standards. And if your training standards are high, this needs to be present on every single exercise and every single set, right? But I'm going to talk about how you can actually look at your training intensity with humility and be like, I actually train like a fucking pussy, right? So you're now armed with the idea that you may be training to a lower intensity in which is required for you to get results. If you are not looking for results, you're just looking to work out and go through the motions, then this video is not for you. Like, that type of person is not, shouldn't really be here, right? Because I am not that person, and a lot of the time I don't really respect that trap of mindset. You're choosing comfort and you're choosing feelings as opposed to choosing a physical outcome. And there's a rare occasion where I will program for people that are so finely tuned with the amount of stress that they're absorbing with their business. I will strategically place feelings-based training sessions in just for them to blow off some steam, reduce stress. But mostly we need to be working on serious shit, improving your physical capabilities, because when you improve your physical capabilities, the feelings are a byproduct of that. If you chase the feelings at its core, you will never get the results. So you can do it a different way and get both, right? Anyway, don't chase feelings, chase results is what I'm saying. So, intensity and a mirror, right? Your phone, video record the first set of every exercise you do in the gym, right? And if your first rep of your first set, you're not pulling a fucking face in panic that you don't think that you're going to be able to do even 6 repetitions in that set, it's too light. If you are able to move that weight fast, it's too light. If you are able to do more than 10 repetitions of that weight, it's too light. So the intensity needs to come from heavy weight lifted. Now, even within that, even within a man that trains intensely, he can then, even there, he can still choose comfort, right? And I'll explain why, because I've seen it at every single fucking layer. You wouldn't believe how much I know this subject. So even if you're a man that says, I train intensely, then I've got to ask you another question. Does your intensity come from speed of repetitions, amount of repetitions, and does it not come from heavy weight lifted? Because again, 40-year-old blokes, 50-year-old blokes, 60-year-old blokes, they might train intensely, but they're still choosing that feeling rather than choosing the heavy weight lifted. The heavy weight lifted builds the physical capability. So even if you train intensity, you can still get caught out of doing too many reps and moving fast instead of just going heavy. And this is the survival part of your brain. At its core, it's you choosing comfort. You're choosing that risk assessment's going crazy in your head, and you're going, I'm going to go light today, but I'm going to do 25 repetitions. Instead of going, I'm going to go fucking heavy today because I want to build my physical capability. I'm going to do 7 repetitions. And the last 3 repetitions might look like a bag of shit, but I don't give a fuck because I need to prioritize training intensity from heavy weight lifted. There is nothing else that needs to be prioritized, right? I know that's probably not enough for you to actually go out and do this, right? But let me just give you a glimpse into the real world. Because when you walk into a gym, one way I like to do this to myself, right, is I'm doing it. It's in my DNA because I know how powerful it is. And I'll give you a glimpse into what the results are as a result of this. So most weeks you should be adding on 1 repetition to any given working set, right? So if you go into the gym and lift 80 kilos on a shoulder press, then for 6 repetitions, then the next week you should be getting 7. You might get 8, but that is it. It's always road to 10. So you should be adding on a repetition most weeks, right? When you start to fade and you start to match the amount of repetitions that you've previously done, don't change your workouts. Don't change the structure of your workouts. Don't change the exercises. Just have a deload week, which is just a bit of a breather, right? So when you do this, you increase your physical capabilities most weeks. By increasing your physical capabilities most weeks, you, at a microscopic level, add muscle mass onto your frame, right? And at an even more microscopic level than that, you add strength and density into your tendons and ligaments. Very easy for a man that is middle-aged to start neglecting training intensity because they feel like they are training smart. It's the worst thing you could do, and it is it's the most detrimental thing that you could do that just wastes time. And if you can look back at 10, 15, 20 years of training and be honest with yourself, how much strength have I actually gained in that time period? Now you could probably guess how many training sessions you've done, right? So you're probably like, well, I train 2 or 3 times per week and I've trained for about 20 years. That's a lot of training. And why are you still doing the same dumbbells most weeks on chest press? It's because of this. It's because you're doing 70 or 80%. You're not willing to go the extra 20 or 30%, right? So go back to the real world. When you walk into a gym, you can absolutely guarantee 99% of that gym are just going through the motions, right? You can look at this and you can fact check me on this. Looking left and right of you, and people are making the mistakes I've just said. They're getting their intensity from speed of repetition. Are they training their speed? Probably not. They're like, 60-year-old Steve is doing really fast reps. he's probably training his speed there. He doesn't really realise it. It's just because he's choosing too light and he's choosing to get the intensity from lightweight, right? So that's their mistake that they make, and you can use that mistake as to give yourself, right, it's annoying because it's just the scale of this mistake is just insane. Most people are making it. And you watching this video, guarantee you're there tensing your chest thinking, no, I train intense. Listen, if the last rep of your set is intense, great. What about the fucking first couple? Right? So real world, most people make that mistake of getting their intensity from speed of repetition. They get their intensity through amount of repetitions, right? But not many people get their intensity from heavy weight lifted. Make sure you are in this fucking category and fuck off that previous version of yourself that fell into the trap of the other two. Once you get 10 reps on at any given weight, that is that weight completed. Up the weight, right? When you are in that set, you need to be a little bit scared, and this is where that fucking survival part of your brain comes back in again. The survival part of your brain doesn't want you to risk anything, right? So the survival part of your brain will be like, this is a risk assessment, you're gonna die, stop. So instead of picking that heavy weight, you know, oh, that shoulder feels a little bit tight today. Instead of picking that heavy weight, survival part of your brain's going, you know what? Just go light today, mate, and just do 20 reps. And you just there like this for the first 60 seconds of that set. It's just a warm-up set. Most people in the gym nowadays are doing warm-up sets and thinking that it's training, and that is the reason why that they're not getting any results.